Lake. Welcome to this week's episode of Laker Shenanigans. My name is Paige Radach.
I'm Lilly, Stout, and we have quite a show for you today. First off, beloved science teacher Mr. Franklin is retiring at the end of the school year. Most students will never forget his memorable stories. Let's take a look at what makes Mr. Franklin such a unique specimen.
Many students know Mr. Franklin, who is a biology teacher here at Prior Lake High School. He's viewed as kind and humorous by his coworkers and students, but what some don't know, it is his last year teaching at Prior Lake High School.
That's been about 35 years. In about 3 months, it'll make 35 years. I like teenagers. It keeps me young, working with people like yourselves. It's always been a pleasure.
Mr. Franklin was kind enough to share his thoughts and feelings on his experience as a teacher in Prior Lake.
I'll miss the community of colleagues that I enjoy from year to year. Students kind of come and go. You know, you guys I know for a year or two and you're going to college or off to the military or something, but my colleagues here are valuable friends as well as co-workers, so I'll miss them a lot. I'm planning on illustrating books. My wife is a writer. She and I together have written a couple of books already, but we want to get into it in a much more serious way. We also intend to both rejoin the Peace Corps. I'm a former Peace Corps volunteer in Africa. She was a member of the domestic service called AmeriCorps out at the Pine Ridge Reservation. We both want to go someplace else and dedicate a couple of more years to people that are in need.
Mr. Franklin is well known by his colleagues in the building.
I met Mr. Franklin in the spring of 2007 when I was student teaching. He was my cooperating teacher. So I got to learn how to teach with the genius that is Mr. Franklin.
We even got a preview of one of his famous stories.
In our microbiology unit, I did let students know about the misfortunate result of my girlfriend's horse in high school having contracted tetanus. Died in his tracks, and we had to bury him in place for lack of the $80 it would have required to haul him off to the glue factory. So that became quite an issue when the hole we dug beside him was not deep enough to hold him completely, and his 4 feet stuck out of the hole.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin, for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and expertise about your subject to all whom have entered Prior Lake High School throughout the years. You're well appreciated and will be missed by all.
Wow, Mr. Franklin is quite an interesting man.
Yeah, I will miss hearing about all of his fun stories. Speaking of fun stories, the yearbook committee always puts a lot of fun stories in the yearbook. Let's take a look at the group who puts all our high school memories into one book.
Every year, students are excited to receive a yearbook which contains information about activities through the year. Some of you may be wondering how it is made and who makes it. Here is the man in charge.
The year I got involved in the yearbook was my second year of teaching. That was 4 years ago. The yearbook involves a lot of different things. First, students have to plan out what will go in the yearbook. Then they have to decide how they're going to capture those moments. So it includes going to different events and photographing those events, interviewing people that are involved in those events, and generating different story ideas for the yearbook. A lot of benefits from joining the yearbook. Obviously, if you're interested in journalism, or any sort of photography or graphic design, the yearbook is a great place for you because you have the opportunity to work with all those different skills.
Students explain why they become involved in the yearbook.
I joined Yearbook because I really like photography and being involved in the school.
I joined Yearbook because I wanted to show pictures for the whole school so that they knew what happened during the year.
I'm mainly a photographer in Yearbook. I take pictures at school events.
I just help take pictures and then create the pages.
If you are interested in being involved, this is how to join.
If a student's interested in yearbook and wants to join, their first step is contacting me. We have meetings every Monday morning before school, so that'd be a great place to get some more information and to learn about what we do.
A lot of work that goes into making the yearbook each year. If you are interested in helping out, stop by Mr. Grimmy's room.
Wow, I'm really excited to see how this year's yearbook turns out.
While the yearbook always covers things that happened in the past, there are a lot of things coming to Prior Lake soon to look forward to. Soon, the school board will be voting on the new referendum to add space and technology to all of our schools. One proposed addition is a new gymnasium field house. Let's hear more about what this will bring to our school.
On May 24th, a referendum for new additions to the district will be put to a vote. The additions include a 6-gym field house that includes a 400-meter rubber track and also additions to each pod.
I think the biggest thing I've heard is about the gym expansion, how we're going to get 6 new courts and an indoor track.
I heard they might be adding, if it passes, a new activity center with 6 gyms.
How do you feel about the referendum?
I feel really positively about the new referendum. I think it's a great thing for our school and our community.
It goes to vote May 24th, and the school board did a really nice job of figuring out what our needs are for the entire district.
What will this do to help your sport?
I think it'll be really good for like practicing things out and all that, like scheduling practices.
Gym space is lacking here, and especially for the winter sports, we're all looking for gym space and gym time.
I think it's going to impact every sport. The referendum includes a 6-gym facility with a 4-lane elevated track. And with 6 gyms, it will help bring dance and cheer and some of the sports that are over at the middle schools back to the high school.
How do you think it's going to benefit Prior Lake community?
I think the referendum will benefit Prior Lake community in a lot of ways. I think it's going to create an attractive destination for a lot of families looking to find a community to join.
The one thing Prior Lake Savage lacks is a community center. Most communities have a hub where people can go and do adult activities, they can do intramural activities, and Prior Lake Savage doesn't have one. So I really feel like this facility, the 6-gym facility, and some of the other additions that we put onto the high school are going to benefit the community greatly.
If the referendum passes on May 24th, construction should start around this time next year and should be completed in the spring of 2018.
Personally, I'm really excited to see this expansion for our sports program.
Well, that's all we have for Laker Shenanigans today. Tune in next week to keep up with what's going on at Prior Lake High School.